Tulbi Guru Tsenge Dang, Tube Ranzin, Chenpo Ye Changsim Ye, Sege Dang, Dujin Kaje La Solan, Solwan, the So Jingelo, Chinang Song Ye Purchase. Something She Duba Dang, Chodang Ton Mongo Do, so Nage Zuyen, Benjamin Bimala, Larensi Basung, Sultan, Nimbo Temba, Belanda Joe. Pema Nurbo Shabla Solwa, the Namo Aria Damba, Lai Kedan Ludan, Nujin, Tulum, Tadang May, Kenam, Doa, Kunji, Danam Jizamba. 탐지에게도 소소로 되결제 Tashi Delek and good evening everyone. Hope you are doing good and keeping yourself safe. Today I'm here to give a brief introductions about the Buddhisms and particularly the uh, the Palyul lineage, that how it comes, where it comes from, and what is the main practice of Palyul lineage, and now who is uh, the the throne holder of Palyul lineage in this present day. So I'm going to put all this information in this 1 hour or maybe 1.5 hour through my broken English. So hopefully this will give you a little bit of insight of what is Buddhism and what is Payul lineage. And then also when we talk about the Payul, then basically it is the uh, the the tantric practitioners. So when we talk about the tantric, then we have so many activities that usually we don't do. It might be for the newcomers, it might be shocked news by knowing this, but yeah, we have so many activities, and also we have so many substances and then equipment that we use in our practice, such as Kapalas and so forth. So I'm also going to highlight or insight a little bit about this Kapala, what it means, and how do we use that, why do we use that, and what is the purpose of using this Kapala, and what kind of the Kapalas should be. Those kind of the information that I will try to bring here in these sessions. So viewers, everybody, whoever joined this Facebook Live or YouTube, or whoever watching this right now, if you have any questions, also you can send me through this comment sign. So I will try to also explain that later at the end. Okay, so generally, when we talk about the religions, or when we talk about the spirituality, and when we talk about the practice, most of the peoples think that religion is something that we don't need. People think that religion is the psychic things, or it's kind of part of illusions, so we don't need this. So there are the many people who don't really believe into our religions and into a spiritual practice. And that is one part. They have right to think that way. And there are also other people who are think that religion is most important practice, that and in religion is something that we should have in our in our life. That that is one kind of the categories that we found in this world. And so those are the two categories that we can see. And then now, when we talk about the religions part, okay, those people who believe in into a, who really want to join into a religions and who want to enter into a religions part and want to know more about it. Now again, um, there is two different category we can and broadly we can divide into two category. One is the category who believe that this whole universal and this whole sentient beings, entire sentient beings, are created by someone, you know, and there is some mighty God who can create like a superhuman, holding a superhuman power, and that is the creator of everything. And we must pray, we must worship, we must believe to that God, because this is what they create, and we are uh, living the place where He creates. So we have no choice but then uh, believe or practice to them, to worship to them, and that kind of this uh, monotheism or theistic religions or believers, what one can say believers. Yeah, there is one kind of the believers group, like let's say believer believe to God as an creators. That is one kind of the categories. And there is another kind of the categories where um, people say, okay, this universal and entire sentient being is not created by God. This is there is no superhuman power holder who can create this universal, who can create this sentient beings. We take a birth in this world of your own karma, and you will die because of your karma. And while you are living in this life, in this world, also you will have there's so many different categories of the people. Some of them are, they're rich and happy. Some of them are poor and unhappy, suffering. Some of them are middle class. They are not very rich, not very poor, but they are okay, whatever level they are in. And there are some people who really don't understand, the mental capacities or mental abilities are really low. And then how do I put it, uh, mentally unhealthy, you know let's say like mental problems peoples. There are so many peoples who has mental problems. There are so many peoples has who are disabilities. Some of them have a leg problem, some of them have a hands problem, some of them have a eye problem, some of them have a speaking problem, they are mute. Some of them they are dumb, dove. So you see, there are so many varieties you can see in this world, and not that um, that must be some cause and conditions to happen in that situations. Nobody can create, or nobody can put to sentient beings in that categories, that kind of the misery things, misery level. So so in that way, if we look in that way, then we can say or believe that this everything is um, um, shouldn't be created by some mighty God. Because if we say God must be a compassionate one, mercy one, who don't have any partialities, who don't have any biased, uh, and who the generate the compassions all the sentient beings equally. So that kind of the God should be there. But if there is the ups and down in this world, and we say that is created by God, I think that is something unacceptable. So anyway, there are two categories we can understand. Broadly, we can put into two categories. One is the believer of creators, and one is non-believer, like there is no creators. So the first we have to understand in that way, and then now, as a Buddhist monk, this is my pleasure and this is my, uh, opportunity to talk about the Buddhisms. So I will try to insight a little bit about the Buddhisms, taking this opportunity. And so Buddhism don't believe any creators. Buddhisms believe uh, there is no creator. Buddhism doesn't uh, like um, accept some mighty God sitting over there, sitting up there, and then creating everything. Buddhist doesn't believe that. And then now, when we use this kind of the words, then when we see the definition of religions, what is the definition of religions? Then in dictionary, I found the definition of religion is says that the belief in and worship of a superhuman controlling power, especially personal god or gods. So this is what the dictionary gives. Oxford dictionaries gives the definition of religions, and another explanation in the same dictionary, it says that particularly system of faith and worship. So in this definition, then as a Buddhist, we have a problem to say that we are the religions, um, because Buddhists don't believe uh, just to you know don't believe into a creators, don't believe into a god, don't we just don't the pray, and we don't believe that just doing worship, doing prayer, we achieve everything. We don't believe that. So in that way, then the religions, a definition of religions in this this explanation is not accurate or not correct for the Buddhism. And again, another question comes then, what is the definitions of faith again? And again, the another dictionary, it says that the strong belief in a God or in the doctrines of the religions based on spiritual apprehensions rather than proof. So without any proof, if just having a belief, strong belief, and then strong faith through the God, thinking that God created everything and God has all the powers, God can do everything, and if we pray to the God, we get everything that we want. That kind of the misconcept uh, is not again not acceptable Buddhisms. So again, the definition of faith, according to the Buddhism, is not correct. So in these two definitions, then in Buddhism, it's based on these two definitions, then we can say that Buddhism is not the religions, because Buddhists don't believe creators, but then Buddhists believe um, the law of cause and effect, law of causality. Buddhists believe that whatever we are experiencing today in this world, all and everything comes from one's own karma. There is nothing, it comes randomly or accidentally uh, from nowhere. It is not nothing like that. There is nothing happen like that. Each and every single moment, each and every single particle, each and every things that we see today, we perceive today, we hear today, we smell, we experience, or we feel, all and everything comes from one's own karma. So that is why to see the world through the Buddhist perspective, then it is very important to understand the law of causalities, law of cause and effect. Now, this is something that we can in, investigate, analyze it, and then contemplate on it. Because this is not the matter of religions, this is not just the matter of Buddhisms, but this is the natural law that everybody is going, everybody facing day by day. But all along, we don't really see it as it is. We don't really understand it as it is. And then we don't really how to say, accept it as it is. And then so long you are not accepting it, so long you are not really seeing it, you are in a wrong path, you are in a wrong concept. And so long you have that kind of the wrong concept, then you always be able to, you won't be able to free from this kind of the concept, and you won't be able to free from this suffering. Because the so-called suffering is nothing but your own, the result of your own misconcept. And so long you have that kind of the misconcept in your life, you won't be able to get that the wisdom levels, and you won't be able to see the truth as it is. So to go beyond that wisdoms, to go beyond this transcendent levels, then the first step, or as an fundamental, as an foundations, what we need to do is, then we need to understand the law of causalities. We need to understand this basic law of cause and effect. Because the law of cause and effect, like I mentioned before, it's not just made by somebody, it's a natural law. It's not just a matter of religions, it's not just a matter of Buddhisms, it's not something that we can abandon, or it is not something that we can ignore. Whether you believe it or not, whether you accept it or not, it will be always there. And whether you want it or not, sooner or later, whatever action that you do today, that will come back to you again, that will like fully ripen onto you sooner or later. So understanding in that way, then um, if we this study the law of causality, and then if we understand the law of causality, and then if we contemplate on that law of causality, and then if you really found some solid reasons, and then if you really put that into your day-to-day life, then whether you believe it or not, whether you want it or not, um, you automatically you don't want to do any bad things, and then automatically you want to do more good things, because there are no one who does want suffering, and there are no one who doesn't want happiness. We, regardless of who we are, we, everybody always wants happiness. We doesn't want suffering. So now, only not wanting a suffering and only wishing a happiness doesn't comes happiness, doesn't achieve the happiness, and doesn't go away a suffering. You are wanting a happiness, you are wishing a happiness, but then your activities directly or indirectly creating a negative karma. So when you are creating a negative karma, then wishing a happiness is kind of the opposite side, like a white and black. So if you create the negative karma, then that brings you the suffering, because that is a natural law. For example, if you put kind of the seed of potato on the ground, and then wishing um, the tomato from out of there, you're not going to get that, because the seed that you put onto the ground is the potato. So after you put the seed of the potato onto the ground, after that, whether you believe it or not, whether you want it or not, whether you accept it or not, that gives you the potatoes. When you go tomorrow and check that, that will be potato, not tomato or not something else. The reason is that is not just made by somebody. That is natural law, that whatever that has on the whatever the cause that one has, that result will be fully ripened the same way. So that is why it is important for us to understand these categories once again. And as a Buddhist, of course, we have to understand these fundamental things, because this is the foundations of Buddhisms. Without knowing this part, then we cannot claim ourselves as a Buddhist. So this is something that I want to share. And now again, when we say this karma, again, so why we believe that's law of causalities. I'm sorry that I'm taking this little bit because it's an important part. I thought it's an important part, so I should share. So when we say law of causality, what kind of the law that we're talking about, and what are the cause that we're talking about? The law is something that natural, it's happening in this world. We're not really believing to the God. We're not really depending on someone, somebody's. We're not really creating some things. But the natural law is like a, on the flow. It's just moving on. So the moment you create the actions, and it will, that actions that you create, the imprint that you did the actions, that will be ground on your mind, and then that will remain until that fully ripen on your on back to you sooner or later. Until then, that seed that you create, or that karma that you have created, won't be go anywhere. Always will be there. Nothing will disappear anymore. So now that karma, now as a Buddhist, how we explain and how we prove that all and everything comes from cause and conditions. Um, for example, like I mentioned before, like potato that we have, potato, to put that potato, the seed of that potato under the ground, we don't really have to plant to make that potatoes. Once we have that potatoes, then once we put that potato under the ground, whether you uh, want it or not, it will automatically, you know, grow up, and slowly that sprouts, and then tree, and then it's like a flowers, like that. It's grow up, because once you have the cause and then conditions, then result will be materialized or come out. um, so for that, we have three conditions in text. We have, it says that Kyensum, Myowikin, Mitakbikin, Nubikin. So that is the three Yoamibikins, Mitakbikins, and Nubikins. There's the three the condition it has mentions. The number ones is the unchanging conditions. For what it means, unchanging condition is like to grow that potato from that seed. We don't really have to plant. We don't really have to think about it. We don't really have to, think that, oh, I have to grow this now. It has to. It has to. We don't have to really push that. Once that cause is there, it will, give a fruit um, gradually. So there is no, we don't, there is um, no need any force, no need any intentions to do that. So in this part, these conditions, then we believe, we don't want to accept that there is a creator, there is the someone who think that, oh, I want to create the world, I want to create the sentient beings, or I want to give this happiness to this particular persons, or I want to give this kind of this problem or suffering to this particular groups. So that kind of the intention we don't need, because as far as long as there is the that cause, and there is the condition that connect, then it will automatically grow up. So that what we call unchanging conditions. The number two Only having a kind of a cause does not enough. Second thing what we need is that condition, that cause must be impermanent, because if that is permanent, then not gonna change, that will be forever. If that is not change, then that not gonna give any fruits, any result, because to give a result, one has to destroy things. To get the result, the cause must destroy it. Then from destroying that cause, then there's a result will come out, or that, yeah, fruits will come out. So understanding in that way, then second part is the cause must be impermanence. This is the second one. Now, in this text, um, then we can we don't want to again to believe in this world. There is something that internalisms exist, internalisms and the nihilism kind of things, Chebartawa and Tapartawa. Those two are not exist in this world, and that to abandon that, or to reject that concept of internalism and the nihilisms. So this concept of impermanent conditions is very important. So that is second condition, important condition is the cause must be impermanent. And now third one, new begins. Now, okay, we believe that is the cause, and we believe that is the cause is impermanent, but then that doesn't mean that anything comes from anywhere. For example, like, the darkness comes from the light. We don't believe that, right? Because dark and then light is two different things. It's a two opposite things. When darks come, light will go. When light come, the darkness will go. So that is two different things. So cannot come the darkness from that light. So why this is happening, why the darkness not come from the light, is because light doesn't have any single power or effective uh, to give a you know give a birth or give a rise the darkness from the light, because that doesn't have any power. So now third conditions is the effective condition, it says. Now, what is the effective condition is because now, for example, the potato that we have, and potato is impermanent, but potato have the power to give the fruits of potato. Potato doesn't have any power to give a result, tomato or chili or corn or any other fruits, or mangoes or banana. The potato doesn't have that power to give a result as in banana, effect as in banana. So that is why now third condition is the effect, or the power. So these three things is the main the reasons why Buddhists believe that all and everything is comes from cause and conditions. If there is a cause and conditions, then you cannot really reject the things to comes the result, because once cause and conditions connect, or they contact or connect, then result will come out, or fruition will come out. If there is any one of these three is missing, then there won't be count as a result or a cause, and there won't be any result from there. So these three is important. One is unchanging conditions, and another one is the impermanent condition, impermanence conditions, or changeable conditions, and then another one is the power condition, or the effective conditions. So having these three quality in the cause, and then connect with the conditions, and then that will give the results. And then whole universal is something like that. each and every particular things, each and every sense, each and everything comes from that kind of the cause and conditions. Nothing is comes out randomly or accidentally or from out of blue. So everything is comes from cause and condition. So this is the main teachings of the Buddhas. This is the foundations teaching of the Buddha. So to claim oneself as a Buddhist, or just to understand the Buddhisms, I think this fundamental the topic is very important to understand. Um, so understanding this part, then I want to insight a little bit of Buddhisms. Buddhisms, when we talk about the Buddhisms, then also we need to understand the background of the Buddha, because Buddhisms is the established by Shakyamuni Buddha. So without understanding who is Shakyamuni Buddha, we don't really trust, or we don't really want to hear the Buddhism. So I think this is the important part to understand or to know the background of Shakyamuni Buddha. So Shakyamuni Buddha was born as a prince in Nepal called Lumbini, um, and then his father was the king of that Kapila Vastu. His name is Shudodana, and his mother name is Maya Devi. So he is the only one child they have. And then in the prophecy, when the baby born, and then in a prophecy it says that this baby could be a very great practitioners in the futures, or could be very great kings, like a monarch, monarch or emperor. So so as a king, he has a wish, strong wish, and then hope that my son should be a king, and then ruler, and then become a great king in the futures, and then hold, the hold or take care of that kingdoms. That was the father's wish and father's hope. Um, and so because of that, then Shakyamuni Buddha been trained and got education in the palace itself. All the teachers used to came into that palace, and they learn everything is in that palace. And then the one day he got out with his slave, and then when he go out, when he went out, and then he saw kind of the old men walking across, uh, you know and then also he saw the the dead body that people is dying, and then also he saw the monks um, who was walking by. And then when he see those the pictures or those visions, those scenery, then he couldn't control himself asking a questions. That's why people are getting old, why people are die, why people are passed away, and what happened after the death. you know uh, am I also get old, am I also die? That kind of the questions is bother him. And then eventually he escaped from let's say escape, or he abandons all the kingdoms and everything's behind. And then he went to see so many the knowledgeable persons, and then ask those kind of the questions. But then no matter what he where he go, he couldn't get any satisfied answers, and then reasons why people get old, and why people die. And then eventually he realized that this all and everything is comes from one's own mind. If you want to really stop getting old, if you really want to stop getting a die, and if you really want to stop those part and don't want to come back again the same situations, then only I can do by controlling my mind. He understand that, and then he did ascetic practice for like 6 years, and then he got kind of the power or the stable of his own mind. He doesn't have any kind of thoughts. He doesn't have any kind of the negative thoughts. But yet he didn't get the enlightenment fully. So then he thought that the area is not suitable for him to get the enlightenment or to know everything. So uh, what he really want to see. So then he moved from that place to other site, and there then he promised himself that even my body is all like ruined or all like destroyed, even this whole universal exchange, I'm not going to get up from this seat until I get the enlightenment. So that kind of the strong uh, how to say commitment that he made himself, and then start meditating. And then exactly this month, like Tibetan lunar calendars 4 month, and then this 15 days, 15 days. So exactly this day, then he attend the enlightenment. It means, what I mean by attend the enlightenment, he saw the things as it is. He understand that he recognized the true nature of mind. He he understand that this all problems, all thoughts, all emotions, all hatred, all desire, ignorance, all comes from one's own mind. If you be able to control those mind and then recognize the true nature of mind as it is, then you will be liberated. So that he already understand. And then the lunar calendar of 4th month and then 15 days, um, and then he uh, realize that, or he, I think realize is not the correct word, recognize, or he enlightened, he enlightened the thing as it is. And then from that moment, then he becomes like free from the suffering of samsara. And then after that, then he gave teachings to all the sentient beings. There are so many others background also, but I'm not going to go those part. Then after he got the enlightenment, then he taught the teachings. The first teaching was the Four Noble Truth, and Four Noble Truth is truth of suffering, truth of uh, origination, truth of cessation, and truth of path. So this is what we call Four Noble Truth. And uh, why it is says the noble truth is because noble means for the arahat, for the enlightened beings, they see the truth, they see as it is. But then for us, it is difficult to see, because for us, we have the bad habitual tendency. Because of that habitual tendency, then we won't be able to see, and we don't want to actually accept, we don't want to think in that way. um, for example, the things that we see today, all and everything is day by day is changing, it's keep moving. Like I mentioned before, that impermanent part is always there. In this world, there is nothing that remain or exist forever. Each and every particle, each and every sense, each and everything is impermanent. And because of that, then it's everything is keep moving. It's nothing is stay forever. um, so that is what we call the truth of sufferings. Suffering doesn't mean that headache or back pain or knee pain, or having a stomach pain or having some kind of the problems. But that is not the problem, that is not the big sufferings. The suffering means the changeable. Whatever you have today, it's not going to last forever, it's not going to last for long. It will going to go soon, it will going to die soon, it will going to depart soon. So whatever you have today, right now, is temporary. It's a momentary. So the moment you understand those parts, then you will understand, oh, this universal is full of suffering. So that is what we call the truth of suffering. Uh, for example, like when I say my hand, I will say this this is my hand, and I used to have this my hand since I born, and this will be the my this is my hand, and this will be the my hand tomorrow also. So that kind of the concept that we have, the reason why I said this is the hand I used to have when I was born, and this is the hand I have now, and this will be the hand, this will be the my hand tomorrow. Why I say that is because that is the concept that I have, because I don't understand this is already changing. Because when I was baby, my hand wasn't like this. My hand also was small, you know, soft and tiny. But now, so this moment is changing, everything is changed, and now my hands become like this. And after few years, my hand will be changed again. My hand will be full of wrinkles. My hand will be full of, like, that's different parts. Maybe it will get old, maybe it will get black, and then maybe it will fall apart. Who knows, right? So those, each and every part is keep changing, but then all along we're not really being able to see it as it is. So that means we're not really being able to see the the suffering. So why this is saying this is suffering is because uh, all the compounded things are impermanent. All the emotional things are impermanent, because my body is compounded. My body is not the single, individuals or independence or single things. My body is compounded of the five aggregates, and then also my only my how to say this body, that body I have, that form that I have, also has a blood, also has a flesh, has a skin, has a bone, has a, so many things in there, and then it becomes a body. So if we investigate each and every part that, so then that is what we call, um, it's now let's say it's connect with the emotional, then all the development part, all that emotional part is uh, not uh, other than the compounded part. So that all the compounded is empty, all the compounded things are empty, and then all emotional things, all the defilement things are suffering. So now, so understanding in that part, compounded things, emotional things, these are nothing but then the cause of sufferings. The moment, the so long we have that, the misconcept, thinking that this is my hand and this will be my hand, so that concept will carry away, will the carry away us, like in a suffering forever. The moment you realize, okay, this all and everything is impermanent, then you will start understanding there is the suffering. So in Buddhism, what it means by suffering is this suffering that um, the changeable or that's impermanent. So Buddhist, the Buddhas, they spoke about this sufferings the very first time, and then after that he said, okay, this is the suffering that you should know, but then suffering is something that the result you cannot really deny it, because this is the result. You cannot really deny the result. But if you don't want this kind of the result again, if you don't want this kind of the suffering again, then what you can do is you should understand this all and everything is not comes from Nowhere. Not comes from randomly or accidentally from without cause and conditions. No, it's not like that. All and everything is comes from cause and conditions. So we must see, or we must understand, we must search what is that cause and conditions. And that cause is the five afflicting emotions: desire, ignorance, desire, anger, then this jealousy, pride, greedy. Oh, those are the cause. And then because of that cause, then you create the actions. Because of that cause, that you create the actions, then as a result, then you suffer more. You come back in this world again, and then wander in this cyclic existence, and then you suffer more. So that is what he thought. He show us that, that this cause and conditions um, is there, like the originations of that suffering. But that suffering, that afflicting emotions can be minimized, can be destroyed, can be eliminated. Now, how do we do that? Is then that's if we do that, then we get the result of successions, that kind of the levels, free from the free from that afflicting emotions, free from suffering, peace and happiness that we get. The how do we get there in succession level? Then we have to, put that into a practice, as a path, as a method, as a tool. Without that tool, without that practice, without that path, we cannot really get there, because each and every problem has a solutions, and that solution is as an antidote, because each the disease has their medicines, each problem has a solution. The same way, each that cause and condition, each that afflicting emotions has an antidote to destroy that or to eliminate that. So for that, then we must understand the path of Eight Noble Path. So understanding in that way, then it says you will be able to, be free from the suffering of samsara. But that is the grosser level that Shakyamuni Buddha taught. And then second level, if you want to go a little more deeper, then it says that there is the 12 interdependent originations, that how you can understand how that ignorance work, how that ignorance create the karma, and how that karma, create the different type of this life. So that details, if you want to know more, then there is the interdependent originations, 12 interdependent originations. Now when we say 12 interdependent originations, that we can count two part. One is interdependent, means depending someone and to prove something, or to say you, I must be there. If I have to say I, then you must be there, because without you I cannot say I, because you are there, so I can say I. The same way, you cannot say you, or you cannot I cannot say you if I'm not here. So these two interdepend each other. That is one kind of the interdependence that we count. And another kind of the interdependent is like cause and conditions give a effect or give a fruitions. That is kind of another's way of understanding the interdependence. So but anyway, the whole this universal is interdependent originations, because each and every part has depend each others. This whole universal is like on the space, there is the on this ground there is the wind chakra, and then top of that water chakra, and then top of that and then this the earth chakra, and top of the earth that we're making a building, we're making a road, all of that, because each depend each other. If there is no space, there won't be any the wind chakra. If there is no wind chakra, there won't be any the water chakra. If there is no water chakra, there won't be any this the earth chakra. If there is no earth, then there won't be any house, there won't be any road, there won't be anybody. This whole universal will be empty. But depending each other's, then this whole universal is created. But if you really investigate one by one, each by each, particle by particles, if you really go into that and investigate one by one, then it says that you won't be able to find any particles. Even when we say particles, it's not the one point. It's not just the one particles. It's okay. Let's say one particle. Even that one particle has the so many others part. Like uh, in one atoms, there is electrons, there is protons, there is so many others part already found by scientists. But and then now these things um, um, are very like I think very much related with the quantum physics because the formula of quantum physics also the investigation that physics also investigating this the universal, how this create, how this happened, or what is the cause of these things. And when they investigate at the end, what they found is kind of the empty. Because of that empty, then there is the wind, the chakra or wind mandala. Because of there is the wind mandala, then this water mandala create. Because of there is the water mandala, then there is the earth mandala create. And because of there is earth, then this whole universal, this whole the country is built. So that is what now quantum physics found. But then this has been taught by Shakyamuni Buddha 2000, like around 600 ago. He already mentioned this everything. So this particular part, when we investigating that, then what we found is we found emptiness. That is what Buddhists call emptiness. But from that kind of the emptiness, then whole these things is arising. So when you really understand this kind of this the emptiness part again, by using this kind of the logics, by using this interdependent origination or others five logicals, then um, then what happened is then you understand that okay, if there is no single things exist in this world, then why I'm doing here, why I'm so aggregate, so why I'm so ignorant, why I'm so desirable, why I'm so attached with something, why I'm getting angry, to whom I'm getting angry, what is the purpose of getting angry if there is no I, if there is no single particular things exist in this world. So in that way, then you can control your afflicting emotions, ignorance, desire, angers, jealousy, those part. And then if you don't really arise that afflicting emotions, then it automatically will go out. And then you are the realities, the the real qualities, the nature of mind will come out. And then eventually you will be same as in Buddha, you will see the true nature of mind. So that is the process. Now if you want to get into that level very short moment, very short way, then Shakyamuni Buddha gave another teachings, which call the Tathagat Garbha, the essence of Buddha natures, or the true nature of mind, through pith instructions, crucial point. By using crucial point, then we will be able to understand what is the mind, what is the nature of mind, how do we recognize the mind, and what is the method of mind, how do we transform our mind into wisdom, how do we transform our afflicting emotion into a wisdom, how do we transform from our this impure body to pure body, how do we understand our mind is inseparable than transcendental minds. So those kind of the practice to understand or to know those kind of the practice, then there is the another teaching, it's called Vajrayana. The aspect of the Mahayana, it's called Vajrayana teaching. So are the end teachings, the final teaching of the Shakyamuni Buddha. So there is the, as you can see, there is the Four Noble Truth teaching, there is the like the interdependent originations, and then emptiness teachings, and there is the another like the pit instructions of mind training, or the pit instructions of mind. So there is as there is the three categories, and as a follower also there is the three categories according to the people's temperaments, and then intellectuals abilities. Then Buddha taught this kind of the different teachings. But in a total, what he trying to tell us is this: the problem, this suffering, is all comes from your mind. Your mind is root of everything. If you cut the root of mind, you cut the root of everything, and then you will be free from the suffering of samsara. You will be free from the illusions. You will be free from this afflicting emotions. You will be free from these confusions. You will be free from this the graspings, self or graspings, self-centered. So to understand that, then Shakyamuni Buddha taught the teachings. But because of our mental dispositions, because of our temperament, because of our intellectual abilities, then he had to teach, in many different way. But in that, if we broadly put divide into a category, then we can put that into a three categories again. The first category is the what we call Hinayana or Theravada, and then the second category we can say the Mahayana, and then another aspect of the Mahayana. The third category we can put into the Mantrayana or Vajrayana or Upayayana. There is a variety names, but the meaning is same. So the purpose of the goal, purpose of that practice is, like I mentioned before, to understand the true nature of mind, to recognize the true nature of mind, to be free from the suffering of samsara. Now, because of the capacity of the sentient beings, mental dispositions, and then the intellectual abilities, then those three categories there. Now, those three categories has all over the world. In Nepal, we can see this all these categories. In Thailand, we can see this Theravadas group. Cambodia's guru, Sri Lanka, we can see Theravadas group. Even Mahayanas, we can see. In China and Korea, in Japan, we can see more like a Mahayana, but also there is some Theravada and Vajrayana. And then in Tibet and Bhutan and Nepal and the half part of India, and nowadays you can see in the United States, and there is the practitioners of Vajrayana. And now these categories are there. Um, there is the three, the country wise, the country wise, we can say that is this three part. Theravada is more like Thailand and Sri Lanka and Cambodia and Myanmar and those part. And then Mahayana is in China, Japan, Korea, and then India, those part. And Vajrayana is more in Nepal, Bhutan, Tibet, and then now in the all over the world. So now these three categories, all the purpose of teachings and all the purpose of practice is to understand the true nature of mind, to be free from the suffering of samsara by understanding the true nature of mind. And but there's because of the different abilities, then these things, these categories happened. Now this is the small introductions of the Buddhisms. Now that Buddhisms later on then came into Tibet, from this 8th centuries. Then these things are that Buddhism's begins spreading in the Tibet, and then so far it's exists in Tibet, that we can see. Uh, Now this part are again says from the 8th century to till today. there are so many, the religions are, I think, different part or different groups happen in Tibet, and those also important to understand. The first, in the 8th centuries, when the Tibet king, the Tusung Descents, really wish and emphasize to have a Buddhism in Tibet, then he invite the abbot, the professor, the teachers from India, from Nalanda University. His name is Shantarakshita, and in Tibetan we call Khenchen Bodhisattva, the Bodhisattva. First the King Tuson doesn't invite him to to establish this college and school and temple in Tibet and have a Buddhism in Tibet. And then, in fact, he did came to the Tibet, the Chandrachita, and he start teachings and he start the building temples. But then somehow, because the Tibet was so isolated place, and in the Tibet there was so many spirit and evil spirit, and then also so many maras exist in that area. So even they daytimes they could build some temples, and then at the night they couldn't build the temple because they destroy everything, and then tomorrow they had to rebuild again. So in that way they couldn't build the temples, and then the king was so disappointed, and then request to Shantarakshita that what can I do now? I really want to have a temple in Tibet, and I really want to establish this Buddhism in Tibet, and want to have the, the precious Dharma here. But then I think I couldn't fulfill my wish, because it's happening. This kind of situation is here. It's not letting me do this. And then Khenchen Bodhisattva or Shantarakshita said that this is something that we cannot do. If you invite the Guru Padma Sambhava, who is currently how to say, practicing or exist in Nepal, which is right now we call Parping, where he attend this Vajrakilaya Siddhi. So he was meditating there, and then Kanjan Bodhisattva said that he is existing there. So if you request him to come Tibet, then it will be everything's okay. And then king sent some minister to invite Guru Padma Sambhava, and then after that then he came, and then after that then all this temple is built, because Guru Padma Sambhava is the tantric teachers. That he has the immense power of controlling this evil spirit, because he is a tantric guru. He is this only second Buddha, but then he has this rainbow body, not like a human body, so he can fight or destroy all this evil spirit. So because of that, then he did those practice, and then everything is then he built the temple, which is still exist in Tibet. It's a temple name called Same Monastery. If you Google it, maybe you will find it. And then Same Monastery is still here. That was the first temple in Tibet. And then since then Guru Padma Sambhava, and then that King Tusun Desen and Shantarakshita. This is the three uh, teachers. Then they translate all these Buddha's teachings which exist in Sanskrit, translate into Tibetans, until Rinchen Jungne. There is the one Rinchen Sangpo. Sorry, there is the until one translator they call King Rinchen Sangpo. Till that moment, I think this is 2 centuries. This 2 century is what we call the Nyingma traditions or old translations, because that was the first teachings that Buddha Dharma um, established in Tibet, and by this Khenlop Chosum, three root teachers, Khenchen Bodhisattva, Ashanta Rakshita, Guru Padma Sambhava, and King Thusun Dechins. By them, then they start everything. They translate all these important teachings into a Tibetan letters. So that what we call the Nyingma or old translations or old school. And in that Nyingma school also has a four or six mother monastery, six different the monastery. One is Shechen, one is Dzogchen, and one is Dorje Dak, one is Mindoling, and one is Kathok, and one is Payul. So out of these six monastery, so the Payul is one. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the Payul, but before that Payul, then after Rinchen Sangpo, then there came Marpa, and then Marpa established this Kagyu lineage, and then after that Dogen, and then second the Sakya's lineage is established, and then after that then Jetsong Khaba came, and then this Gelug traditions begins, and also there is Jonangpa and then Kadampa, and then Bon religions are there, and they also established in that way. Uh, so I'm not going to go those part, since we don't have much time. I think I must focus on more on my topic. So today's my topic is the Palyul lineage. Now, how that Palyul lineage came? The mainly Palyul lineage is none other than that Nyingma tradition itself. But then within the Nyingma, the Payul is one, and Payul is very the fresh and the new lineage that we have in this planet now, because that Payul lineage starts from 1665, and that established by the great master, the Rizin Kunsang Sherpa, under the guidance of some Kathok great master, and then especially the teacher of Terten Mingir Dorje, the Namcho discover of Namcho traditions, or discover of Sky Dharma traditions, or Sky treasure traditions. And then his Terten Mingir Dorje's great teachers, Raga Ashe or Karma Chapme, under the guidance of these two great teachers, then this Rizin Kunsang Sharaf took the role of establishing this mother monastery, Payul. And then now this Palyul lineage that we see today in the Tibet and then in India is established by Rizin Gunza Sherpa under the guidance of, again, like I mentioned before, Teten Mingi Dorje and Raga Asha Karma Chapme. So now, before we go that lineage until this 12 throne holders, the Kamakuchi Rinpoche, His Holiness Kamakuchi Rinpoche, I think we need to understand a little bit about the importance of this Namche, or this practice of this Palyul lineage. And the Palyul, the practice is mainly the Nyingma traditions, of course. And then also in Nyingma, we practice this nine yanas, which is the Theravadas, and then Saparteke Buddhas, and Mahayanas. That is three yanas. And then after that, and that's in a tantric, there is outer tantrics, Kriya Tantra, Charya Tantra, and Yog Tantra. And then inner tantric like Maha, Anu, Ati. This is what we call nine yanas, and this is the very special and very yeah, it's a very special and very how to say private practice of Nyingmapa. All the Nyingmapa must practice this, and of course Payul also practice this. And this nine yanas, all the practice of nine yanas is very profound, and that it's difficult to understand. So now, as an commentators, and there are the great masters such as Kunjin Rongzomba, the omniscient Rongzomba, and then omniscient this Jigme Lingpa, then omniscient Longchen Rabjampa, and then omniscient Mipham Rinpoches. Those are the great commentators that we have in the Nyingma traditions. So whatever we practice today, we understand easily because of this great the commentators that they clarify, and then so all the Nyingma practitioners follow this great these commentators, because that root texts are very profound and then vast and profound that easily don't understand, as in especially as in newcomers. It's very difficult, but then of course we need to understand that. So it's uh, to make easy to understand, then these great commentators has so many this commentator books so that we easily understand. So definitely we practice that. uh, Top of that, there are some how to say, the treasures that this particularly Payul practice, and then there are some that particular the words of the Guru Padma Samba, words of the Garab Dorje, and words of the 13 Mingyur Dorje, these treasures of sky treasures discovered by this 13 Mingyur Dorje. These are very special for the Payul, I think. So mainly in Payul we have the Kama, Terma, and Dagnang. We say there's three practice. Karma means the words of the Buddha, words of the Guru Rinpoche, words of the Teten Mingyur Dorje, words of Garab Dorje, words of the Bimala Mitra, words of that um, um, this Berochanas, those are the important, the direct words came from them. So it's a kind of the pure words, direct words, that what we call karma. And tema means the treasures that the most of the treasures, it's hidden to hidden um, in a rock, in a water, in a sky, so many things. And make a prayer that in the futures, when time comes, the treasure revealer will come and then they're revealed. And according to that, then in Nyingma traditions, particularly the Payul traditions, then we have so many that kind of this sky treasures in Nyingma traditions, particularly the Payul traditions, that one. And then also this pure view, Tagnangs, like a pure view, the instruction of the pure view came from directly Tetin Migir Doji. And that carrying the Rizungunza Sharab. And that Rizungunza Sharab to then Pemal Hundub Jatso, then Duang Peman Nurbu, and then Karma Chapal Samudin, Karma Law, Jurming and then. So in that lineage, all the way to this present teachers, present great masters, this His Holiness Kamaguchi Rinpoche. So that unbroken lineage is the fresh unbroken lineage is exist. And like I mentioned before, this Payul is very fresh lineage in this planet, established around 1665, and till now, if we count 2021, if we count, it will be only 356 years old. So uh, we receiving the teaching, we're practicing the teachings which came from directly Tete Mingi Doje, Raga Asya, and Guru Rinpoche, Berochana, Bimala Mitra, Garab Dorje, those kind of things. So we are so much fortunate to have this kind of this precious and this kind of the fresh teaching in our lineage, and we are very much fortunate to be able to receive these teachings as an empowerment, as an instructions, as an practice. And now if we be able to practice this into day-to-day life, then um, it says that in a very life, then you will be able to recognize the true nature of mind. You will be able to attain the enlightenment. The reason is the get attending the enlightenment or obtaining the enlightenment is not so difficult, because the idea that you need to understand, the moment you understand the idea of how to understand the true nature of mind or how to recognize the true nature of mind, that pit instruction is that something that we are waiting for. If you understand that pit instructions, and you understand oh, this is the mind, how to say it, the nature of mind. Oh, this is the something that I should understand, or this is something that I was looking for. The as the true nature of mind as it is. The moment you see these things, then you are already, the moment you see the things, that is what we call the enlightened. So thinking enlightened, it's not so far. Thinking enlightened is not so difficult, but yet the if you fail to understand the pit instructions, if you fail to control those, the expression, you know the pit instruction that your teachers are giving you, then it says that no matter how many practices you do, you you continually wander in the suffering of samsara because you miss the point. So now in a Payul lineage, particularly in this, particularly this, especially this Payul lineage, then right from the Teten Mingi, then all the pit instructions came very fresh till this His Holiness Kamakuche Rinpoche, and then His Holiness Gyahantugo Rinpoche, His Holiness Masantugo Rinpoche, and there is the great teachers, His Eminence Kenshin Chawan Jamzo, His Eminence Kenshin Pema Shira, His Eminence Kenshin Namdol Cherings, and there are so many great Kempos from Namdoling nowadays all over the world, that wherever you go, you will see the Kempo from Namdoling, you will see the Lopen from Namdoling, you will see the great master from Namdoling, who are learned one. And then at the same time, we are so much fortunate that especially in the West, and we have so many great masters such as Her Eminence Jetsunma Akhul Lhamo. Now, Her Eminence Jetsunma Akhul Lhamo is the one of the Payul lineage holder, and especially in this West. I think she is the only one who uh, is from West, and who is uh, from the depth. She is taking care of this Payul lineage and spreading this Payul lineage into this West, propagating this Dharma into West, and they giving direct teachings uh, in the Western language. I think this is something that we are so much fortunate to have Her Eminent Jetsuma Akhul Namo and Akhul Namo in this planet in the present day. Otherwise, we as an Khenpo myself, I'm not really capable to give this kind of the teachings, especially in the Western language, which I never, which is not my language, and also which I never learned. So this is something very difficult for me to do, and then even I say something, I'm sure most of the words are broken and most of the words are inappropriate. The pronunciation is not correct, and then I'm sure many of you still are laughing on me that I'm speaking this English, the way I'm speaking this English. But my intention is not to make any mistake, but my intention is very clear that whatever I learn from my monastery, from my teachers, whatever I know so far, that I want to share with you all, so that you also understand this little bit. And then, if even if I give you a little bit of the hint, a little bit of doubt in your mind, then my this session is success. I don't really have to become a famous. I really don't want to become a like a great teachers. I really don't want to have to be the perfect speaker. My all intention is just to give you a little bit of the hint, or a little bit of a doubt in your mind, so that you can go further that, and then investigate, and then find out the real reasons, or find out the actuals, the teachings that Shakyamuni Buddha taught, and that's this Palyul Lineage taught, Teten Mingyur Doje taught, and Kunsan Lamas brought this till today. And that Jetsuma Rinpoche is one of that great teachers um, who has been giving teaching us like over the 40 years, and now we have very much fortunate that she's still there, and she can still teach us. And she is none other than the very own Rizun Kunzan Sharaf's the younger sister. And then when Rizun Kunzan Sharaf was receiving the teachings from the this Teten Mingyur Dorje, and then Karma Chakme, and she was also attending the teachings and then receiving the all this pith instruction direct from the Teten Mingyur Dorje, and she was practicing that. And in one way, we can say that she is none other than Dakini. And when we say Dakini is something that realize one. Dakini is the free from all confusions, and Dakini is the very much supportive of practicing this tantrayanas. Without Dakini's the help, without Dakini's instructions, nobody can attend the these realizations through this tantrayana practice. To complete tantrayana practice and then achieve something, you must take refuge to the dakinis, and take support from dakinis. Then only you will be able to attend the siddhi or accomplishment. So Dakini is very, how to say, the important role in Tantrayana teachings. And then, in another words, we can say like Dakini is none other than your own natures and the nature of mind. When you recognize the true nature of mind, you will see this Guru, Dakini, and then meditational deity, and then Guru. This is the three main the practice that Tantrayana has, and that one of that is the Dakini. So Dakini is the all I'm saying is the Dakini is this none other than and the true nature of your own mind, and then she has the immense of a power to pull us into that positive way, and then cleans clean our method, clean our way to attain the true nature of mind. So see, the Dakini is very much helpful, very much supportive. So that is why without Dakini's help, we cannot attain the Buddhahood, or we cannot really attain any kind of the siddhis. So Dakini is very much helpful. And then Jetsuma Rinpoche is this Dakini Mandaravas. And now, when I say Dakini Mandaravas, then who is Dakini Mandarava? The Dakini Mandarava is they represent of all the Dakinis. That is what that is who the Dakini Mandarava is. And then now, emanation of Dakini Mandarava is the Jejanma Akun Lamo. And then and nowadays that we are very much blessing, and we are very much blessed that she can teach the Payul teachings and then Buddha Dharma's teachings into the West on like Western language, so which is so much helpful for all the Westerners. So I think this is something that we must understand and we must realize, because she has done so much for the Westerner. Even still, she teaching. Still, she is, you know, giving a compassion, so generating compassion to all the Westerners, and then we still can watch her teachings in this YouTube, and we can see that how she give her teachings according to the situations. The giving a teaching is easy, but then understanding the situation is difficult. The great master always teach the teachings according to the situation. That is what we call skillful. Having a skill is important. So I think this is something that we must understand. And Palyul lineage is there none other than Buddhism. And in the Buddhism, there is like Tibetan Buddhism, there is Theravada, and there is Mahayana. So this is the Palyul lineages in Tibetan Buddhism. And within the Tibetan Buddhism, there is a Nyingma, there is the old translation and the new translations. So this Palyul lineage is one of the old translations group. And in old translation group practitioners, then there is the six mother monastery exist in Tibet, and one of that is Palyul lineage. And Palyul lineage established by Rizin Kusan Sharaf in 1665, and under the guidance of Tirtan Mingir Dorje and then Raga Asya, Karma Chakme, along with this Jetsun Mahakul Lhamo, and they practice that. And still today, all over the world, and then we have this Palyul lineage. Even in United States, we have, I think, uh, 10, 13 or 14 centers, uh, Palyul centers. And Taiwan, we have other centers, and then Singapore we have a centers, and Malaysia we have a centers, Philippines we have a centers, Canada we have a centers, and Nepal, Darjeeling, that we have so many centers. So those all centers is teachings and the same teachings, and sharing the same lineage, and sharing the same thoughts, and sharing the same how to say teachings, and same lineage. And the and one of that is and the KPC that we have, Kunzang Wesel Payul Janchup Cholings, which is located in Maryland, River Road, Poolsville, Maryland. Um, so so this is the kind of the information that we must understand, because whatever we wherever we are joining, if we don't know the story of that, then later on, then we don't see any reasons to go there or reason to join there. So I think to understand this part is, I think, very important. So I thought that this is important, and that was the one topic for today. And another topic is now, as in like I mentioned before, we as an the old translations group, as a Nyingma traditions, then we have um, tantric practice, and then that is what we call lama hidam dakinis. This is three the root that we practice. And now to practice that, since this is the Vajrayana teachings, then we Vajrayana is the skillful means. In Vajrayana, there has so many methods, so many skills uh, to recognize the true nature of mind. In order to recognize the true nature of mind, we must play some role, and we must do some things. Now, what we can do according to our temperament, according to our intellectual ability, according to our mental dispositions, what one can understand, that we must do. So now, according to that, then the very purpose of Tantrayana teaching is transform one's own that impure mind to pure mind, right? Now, for that, then we must have some lucky sign. For that, we must have some uh, this supportive substances, because without that supportive things, then we cannot really do anything. So in that substances and that equipment that we have, then one of that the very 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 important that when that we use in tantric is what we call the kapala. um, um, in in English we call skull cup, the skull, uh, the upper part of our head, the skull. So skull is the we say that skull cup, but that is very important this equipment in tantric that we have. But now only saying the skull cup is not enough. Again, um, skull cup, that we everybody has a head, then uh, we everybody can take our skulls, and then we use that. But then the case is not that. The skull has the significant skull, or how to say, how do I put it? The skull must have the correct, appropriate skull, or this the exactly the right sign, or this auspicious skull. All the skulls doesn't work, because if the skull is not right, and then you use that in that practice, then that can bring unauspicious, that can bring a bad sign. That is what we call black magic kind of things, that brings unfortunate things happened. But if we have the right skull, and then very precious skull, and we use that in our practice, then that can bring a very auspicious sign. That can bring a very good signs, and then we get the immense of benefit from there. For example, why we are practicing the Tantrayana? Because we need some nectars, we need some blessings, so that just taking that nectar, then we liberate, we can see the true nature. So for that, then we are this uh, practicing the Vajrayanas mantras. Now, only the practicing the chanting the mantra not enough. We must have some support for that, and that is the one of the important this support is the skull. If you have a right skull and you use that into that practice and take some nectar from that skull, then it will be very, it can brings very auspicious, and then that nectar can open your true nature of mind, open your this how do I put it, open your the impure, let's say, like, that can wash your impure this thoughts, and then cleanse your impure part, and then their pure views and natures um, will come out or materialize or bring out. And then, and when you have that kind of the pure view, and then the true natures is out, then you can recognize it as it is, and then you liberate. So for that, this auspicious signs, the nectar is very important, or like that support is very important. And then for that, and then skull cup is very helpful for that. And now not many people has that kind of the auspicious skull cup, not everybody, because it has to be a perfect shape, perfect design, and it has to have some kind of the sign in that skull. If size is same, this structure is same, and then all that that needs for the kapala is perfect, and then locations, the shaping, and then the arts in that kapala. Normally you see the when human kapalas, you see there has so many arts, and then like the arrows, and then showing that so many art as in our brain, this that is shape of the our brain. So when we see those kind of the that auspicious kapala, then only seeing that kapala, also you it says that you get immense of blessings, and then it gives you the this imprint of the blessings, and that because of that imprint of blessings, then eventually you will get the the opportunity to see the Dakinis, opportunity to see the deities, meditational deities. You will be able to see the great master and receive the bit instruction. And then by practicing that, then you will be able to liberate. But then all along, if you don't you know have that pure view towards that kapala again, and if you feel that, oh, this kapala is something that human kapala, I shouldn't touch that, I shouldn't do anything like that, if you have that kind of the impure view again, says, then no matter what kind of the practice that one does, that result won't be come out. It will be so far to attain the enlightenment. So in Vajrayana, particularly in this tantric practice, when we do some rituals, especially like a great accomplished rituals, great accomplishment ritual, then I think this kind of the skull is very much helpful. And then especially having this important this auspicious Kapala is very much helpful for the practitioners. Um, and one is that, and another reason of having a Kapala in a practice is that normally we have the view that, seeing things are impure, seeing things are pure. We always make a distinguish between good and bad, and then pure and impure, the clean and the dirty. So we always have that kind of the concept, and because of that kind of the concept, then we always looking for good and abandoning the bad. And then sometimes when we think that is the bad, but sometimes that could be the precious one that we get, so that all and everything's happen because we have that concept, seeing good and bad, pure and impure, dirty and clean, so those part. So now, how do we clean those kind of the concept, seeing things bad and good? But then now using that kind of the precious Kapala in a practice, and practicing visualizing oneself as a deity, and then using that Kapala as an one of the pure the substances that we have, and from receiving that nectar from that, then what happen is, then that can um, uh, help us to make up impure visions to the pure visions. So when we have that kind of the pure visions, then that can help us to recognize our true nature of mind. So pure visions make our impure vision to pure visions. Also that Kapala will help us to very much help, and receiving that nectar from that Kapala, and then enjoying yourself, ma- uh, being joyful, thinking that I got the nectar from that kind of the Kapalas. And then Kapala is one of the pure things that I have in this planet. So thinking in that way also, to think that way also, it will be very helpful. So in a Tantrayana practice, we always do this Gana Chakra Puja. In Gana Chakra Puja, we always use this Kapala as in the container, or as in the vessels. So that right vessel is very much helpful, in a general, I'm saying. And then particularly that we have a story of the Kapala of Jetsunma Akun Lhamos, the previous Jetsunma's Akun Lhamos, who is the very sister of Rizun Kunsan Sharaf, back in 1665. The history is something like that. She was the accomplished one. The great practitioners, and she has also looking after some the monastery, the nunnery monastery. And then in this world everything is impermanent. Then one day she had to die. She passed away. She entered into a parinirvana. And then after she entered into a parinirvana, her body was cremate, and like the burn. And then when that cremations doing, the rituals, cremation ritual doing, then this her head, blast from that cremations, and gone to the sky somewhere, and then nobody could see that where is it, and then everybody was shocked, and everybody thought that that is gone somewhere, or maybe that disappear in the sky. So that was the so much great the auspicious things happen at that moment. And then everybody was making prayers for that's Jetsunma Akun Lamos, because that this Kapalas went out on the sky, then nobody could see that. And then and it says that later on that Kapalas came down, and then that fall down on this the enthroned our Zungun Sherpa, who is the brothers of Jetun Makun Lamos. That Kapala fall down on this enthroned, and then so the Zungun Sherpa saw that the Kapala, and then receive that Kapala, and then so when they check the Kapala, then Kapala has this great sign there, and then so also Kapala has the R syllable letter in it, and then that was a perfect share, and because this Jason Ahul Namo was the great practitioners. Then when we practice, that we always practice that all these 58 wrathful deities remain in our head, that brain head. So I think the when they practice that kind of things, then maybe she practiced the all the deities is already here in the brain. Yeah, maybe she practiced in that way. So there has so many this kind of sign. So everybody was so amazed with that, and then everybody did some prayers, and everybody's approached them and then received some blessings, and then they saved that into altars, and then once in a while when they do great accomplishment puja, then they used to bring that out and then use that for that particular great accomplishment puja, and then after that again they used to put back into that there's treasures in a box. That is how they used to keep that as an very precious. But in 1950s, after they know this occupied the Chinese government to the Tibet, then all the temples was destroyed, and so many temples was destroyed. And then somehow, and later on, again, His Holiness Pemanabo Rinpoche has found that skull from Payul, and then His Holiness Pemanabo visit to United States, and then Intron Jetunma Akun Lamo as in the reincarnation of um, um, that great practitioners Akun Lamo, and then as a gift, what belongs to Jetunma Akun Lamo, His Holiness Pemanabo provide that precious Kapala to Jetunma Akun Lamo, and then that was the great sign that she Jesumaku received that her own previous Kapala, and then since then, at the KPC we have saved those that Kapala in the very safe place, and then we still have if anybody is just visit the KBC and then just receive some blessing from that Kapala. Just seeing that Kapala from afar, also you will be able to receive the immense of the benefits, because that Kapala is not the ordinary Kapala; it's extraordinary, and then that belongs from the 1665, which is 356 years old, and also that Kapalas belongs from the great practitioners who attend the enlightenment already. So that kind of the kapalas, that if we be able to just to see, just to touch, just to receive some nectar from there, will be very much blessed and very much fortunate. So the whoever listening this information, or whoever seeing this video, I'm just giving you the information that we still have that Kapala in a KPSA, which is located in Maryland's River Road, Poolsville. Anybody who has that kind of their faith and devotions, who has that kind of the pure visions, though to them this information could be a very helpful. They can come and visit KPC and then receive this blessings from that KPC. So this is all I have to say today. Hopefully this my information is helpful to you all, and hopefully this can bring you benefits to your practice, and then understand the little bit of what is Buddhism, and what is Dharma, and then what is Buddhism, and what is Nyingma Pa, and particularly what is Payul, and especially why we use the Kapala in our practice. Um, so I think this is all I have to say for today, and hope to um, see you soon again. Keep yourself safe. Uh, be safe from this pandemic, and take care of yourself and take care of your mind, and then practice well. See you. Take care. Bye. Tashidale.
Tashidale Khenpo. Thank you very much. We'll say Jetsuma's dedication prayer real quickly. It's in English, so people can hear it if they don't know it. By this effort,
May
may
all
all sentient beings be free of suffering.
suffering
May their
men
minds be filled with the nectar of virtue.
in
In
this.
this way, may all causes resulting in suffering be extinguished, and only the light of compassion shine throughout our realms.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Thank you, Khenpo La. Stay safe, and we're very appreciative, deeply appreciative of your teaching tonight. So thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.